What's up, guys? Welcome to the Flopbuster Movie Show live with Tony and Gabe. We've been gone for a little bit. I feel like we've been gone forever, it seems like, but we had a Tuesday show last week, actually a Monday show, where we ran down Jay from Bloodbath and Beyond, or Bloodbath TV now, Scream. We ran down Scream with him. So, Gabe, it feels good to be back and
It does.
doing a more casual Tuesday show.
Yeah, it's been a long 8 days.
It's been a long time. We haven't even done, man, we skipped the Thursday show as well, which will be back this Thursday. So everything that's been scheduled the way we've always been doing it will be back, normal and whatnot. But what's up with you, man? What have you been up to?
Not much. We were both at the same wedding this weekend, which was really fun. So
Yeah, the wedding was fun. So I got to see Gabe in person, which I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. It's been since April, I want to say, which
yeah,
if we weren't so busy, I would have said, let's do a live show in person, but there was like no time. So
none whatsoever.
we did not do that, unfortunately. But tonight, what's going to happen is me and Gabe, we're going to run down the movies that we watched in October. And then hopefully, once we get some viewers in here, you can comment what you've seen this October and we can all talk about it. And then also, the number I've put down at the bottom of the screen will be for those of you that want to call into the show. And this is a new feature we'll try on Tuesdays. And you'll be talking to Gabe. Now, I don't believe I'll be able to listen to the call. I'll be able to listen to the call. I won't be able to speak back to you. But Gabe will. And we'll keep that at the bottom of the screen. And we'll just
No,
get this started, man.
yeah, I'll put it on speaker, and maybe you can listen to it, and we just reply back.
That's great. Yeah, we could totally do that. So, Gabe, I mean, I did not reach 31 movies, and I thought I was, but a lot of things, the wedding got in the way, and then I went to Horror Nights for like 4 days. So I was doing a movie a day, sometimes three, four movies a day. And then out of nowhere, I just stopped. So I made it to 28 films. I know you made it to 31, right?
Barely.
So you did make it to 31. I did not
I
make it to 31 movies.
yes, the last movie I watched last night was The Cursed.
Okay, so yeah, we you barely made it. I was four shy. So uh being gone all those days, and I don't watch movies when I'm on vacation because I'm not a fucking lonely person. I want to go out and have fun. I'm not going to watch movies. Um,
You should.
no, I having fun or watching movies on vacation.
Watching movies on vacation. It's like a new
No,
experience.
hell no. I don't, who does that? Um, the only people that made it to the 40, 50 movies have not done anything. I guarantee you, they haven't done anything. They have all the time in the world.
Damn it! I
Like,
guess I
no,
guess I had all the time in the world.
no, I really wish I had a list and I did not make it, but I did see some other great films. So, Gabe, I'm gonna pass it to you. What's a movie that you watched this month that you want to highlight from your list, man?
Um, this is out of bounds, right? And I think I mentioned to you when we were here, and that's going to be the Spanish movie Cerdita, which is also called Piggy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it was just released this year. It's a Spanish movie from obviously Spain, but it involves like themes of like bullying. There's a serial killer on the loose. Um, so it's really cool. And it was in a film festival, a horror film festival down there that we haven't hosted in Mexico, and so that's how I got wind of it. So it's on Amazon Prime for like $6 to rent it.
Yeah, I know it's on Amazon. It's on Shutter as well, I heard. I'm pretty sure somebody mentioned that they watched it on Shutter. So I have not seen this movie yet, but I've heard you talk about it. Jason from Sinister Cinema has shouted it out and said it's great. So that's one I have to see. One that I want to shout out, which I think is catching wind in the community. I know you saw it. I saw this early on in the month, and this was Deadstream. I thought Deadstream was awesome. Actually, two movies I want to mention real quick since I have them both here. Actually, one of them. Okay, here it is. Deadstream and Sissy, I think, are both great modern, lower budget horror films available on Shutter. Very funny. Both of them are very funny, actually, and darkly comedic, especially Deadstream. But Sissy is also, if you're into stuff like Carrie or even, man, Ingrid Goes West, which is a really good black comedy. Sissy is it could be right up your alley. So those are two movies from the lesser known variety that I'd like to shout out there because I
Yeah,
had fun with them.
and then whew, so I'm gonna say one that I really enjoyed, and it's probably some one of you know it came out last year or 2 years ago, but I had a lot of fun with it. Was Blood Red Sky, and for some reason I just watched it this this past month.
Oh
It
yeah, the
was
Netflix one. Yeah,
yeah, the Netflix one, like vampires. It was pretty cool.
yeah. No, I gotta. That's another one I have not checked out yet, but I've heard tons of great word of mouth on. Um, Another film that was see, there's films that I know we mentioned on our list, like what we'd watch as tradition. A ton of my stuff that I watch, I did not even get to. Um, but I did check out some other things, and another favorite of the month that I wrote down was Werewolf by Night. I
Yeah.
thought Werewolf by Night. I mean, we got a review on the channel. Gabe loved it. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Uh, I'm gonna definitely be checking that out every so often, every other year or so on Halloween because it was such a unique and very cool Marvel special, and also one of the best things they've made in a very, very long time. So, Werewolf by Night is one that I got to give a shout out to.
And this one's a shout out, but not of the good kind. It's a disappointing one. And I want to really shout out Pray for the Devil because this one was one that was super hyped up
So
for.
you did end up seeing this.
Yeah, I saw it on Sunday.
Okay.
While you guys were flying home, I was at the theaters watching Pray for the Devil. Uh, it was supposed to come out like 2 years ago. They had been announcing it for so long. It was supposed to be a January release. Then they bumped it to summer. Then they bumped it up back to October. Anyways, I was hyped up. The trailer made it seem something that was going to be something that I wanted to see. And I got there and it just absolutely, I'm not going to say it sucked, but it was very middle of the road, very not what I wanted out of a possession horror movie. Like I said, I in my review on TikTok, I say I compare all possession horror movies to The Exorcist, and probably I shouldn't. And it's my favorite genre, and this one was just lacking. I mean, it was decent enough story, but as far as like possession and how is that's concerned, I don't like it.
Right.
So
I've heard nothing but horrible things. I still kind of want to see it. I mean, the trailers didn't do anything for me, but it seems like, I'm gonna eventually catch it. That seems like a good Blockbuster rental. If Blockbuster was around, it's just you wait for it to go there.
that's what I said in my review. Is you just wait for it to come out on rental. Like there's really nothing special about it for you to go see it.
I know you were excited for that one too. That's a bummer. That sucks. Um, Here's another one that kind of came and went because I feel like we've Halloween came out and we sort of forgot that we got a Hellraiser reboot. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the new one. I enjoyed it a ton actually. I thought the new characters were great. The expanded lore was cool. It gave you everything that you wanted. I don't think it like reinvents the wheel or anything like that, but I think it's a really solid entry in the Hellraiser franchise. I really enjoyed that one a ton.
No, it was really good. Obviously there was some controversy with it. I think that it wasn't warranted. She did a phenomenal job as the high priest, and hopefully they continue making it with her, and they continue making more Hellraisers with this timeline. Because the old one, that's just done and over with. Like let's just end the 9 films then of Hellraiser and let's start a new timeline, I guess.
No, I'm with you. Um, what about you, man? What's another movie from this month that really stood out for you?
Um, what I want to I've seen I saw it in September, and I know that you saw it as well, and we both rewatched it, and it's gonna be Barbarian. Like how good was Barbarian?
It was
And
great.
I mean, it's not my number one. I think that still belongs to X, but it's just right there. And upon rewatch, like I'm really battling and being like, I should put it at number one. It's just so freaky, and it's just a great story. Justin Long is great. It's just a really, really unnerving type of movie. Like it's not scary, but you're unnerved the entire time. You know, you think it's going one way, and it pulls the rug out of you, and it goes a different way. And I just really, really enjoy that movie.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I thought Barbarian was awesome. It's definitely one of my favorite horror movies of the year. I think it's in my top 5 of the year so far. Just films in general. It's so original and inventive and creepy and really funny. And Justin Long in horror movies is like that's A plus right there, man. He's so good in any kind of horror film, from
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers to Tusk. Now we have this, so I love seeing him and stuff. Um, Another one I want to shout out because I don't think I had a chance to talk about it in any of our shows because we did our Thursday show and then I watched it was VHS 99. I thought VHS 99 was great. I think it might be my favorite of the VHS entries. Certainly the ones that they've been making over at Bloody Disgusting. I thought 94 was really good. I think 99 might be a little bit better. Did you check that one out?
No, I was gonna check it out yesterday, and I almost clicked play, but I, for some reason, Christina Ricci and The Curse just called me out.
Yeah, revisiting The Curse. You know, there's a version of that movie I would want to see, and it's the one that all the actors claim that they signed up for. The original cut that was shot with Omar Epps and Skeet Ulrich, and I think who else was in it? Liev Schreiber. I don't know. A ton of people were in the original cut of that movie that like didn't see the light of day, and it's like locked
Really?
in a vault. Do you not know about the story behind Cursed?
No, like no, I do not. Yeah, it was
Cursed.
my first time watch yesterday.
Oh, you never seen it? Okay, so
No,
I saw Cursed when it came out, and I know like the talk was that like, oh, it's like Wes Craven's doing a very meta thing like Scream, right? Like it is very meta about Hollywood and stuff. The original cut of that movie was made with a whole different cast, practical werewolf effects by Rick Baker, and was screened for the Weinsteins. And apparently, Harvey Weinstein hated the movie so badly, he made them go back and reshoot it with a whole new cast. The only carryovers were Christina Ricci and I believe Jesse Eisenberg. Everybody else was recast. So no Omar Epps, no Skeet Ulrich, like all those guys were not in the movie. But
right.
somewhere in the Weinstein's vault or whatever, there's a cut of this movie that is totally different.
Interesting. I mean, I think when I reviewed it on Letterboxd, I did say, I mean, it was an interesting story, but that CGI aged horribly.
It did.
Like the werewolf transformation just looks fucking terrible. And but I enjoyed Christina Ricci. I enjoyed Jesse Eisenberg. Um, Conway from the Mighty Ducks guy. Um, he was alright in it. It felt like an extended episode of Dawson's Creek in a sense, but with
In a
werewolves.
way, right? Like the dialogue and
The
it's
dialogue, which is
very
Kevin Williamson,
melodramatic.
right?
Right.
But
He's
we
he's at
live
that
we live
signature
in
style.
right. We lived in that era of the Kevin Williamson, type of dialogue, type of movie, horror movie. Scream. I know what you did last summer, The Curse. Uh,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, it was like I said, it was alright.
It's fun. It's more fun than people give it credit for, just for the nostalgia of it. Like for me, we rented it. I remember liking it as a kid. I know it's like widely hated, but the story behind it's always interested me more in terms of there's a cut somewhere that Wes Craven loved that had practical effects, really cool gore, was R-rated, and had a totally different cast. And I would have been down for that. It sounded really cool.
Right.
Um Another movie that I watched, this is I kind of an obvious one for some people. Uh but I can't remember when I rewatched it before. I don't know if I watched it last year and I own the Criterion. It's Night of the Living Dead, and I thought it looked amazing on
4K.
4K. Yeah, it looked incredible. Like I was really shocked by the picture quality for a movie from 1968, low budget as it is. It's just like how much can you improve it? Oh, they do a fantastic job. It holds up. It's a timeless film. It's scary. It's to the point. It's like 90 minutes, so it's not very long. And I just had a fun time with it. I hadn't seen it maybe 2 3 years, uh, but it was fun, just as fun as I always remember it being. There's not much else I can say about it. It's a damn good movie.
Yeah. That's the original one from like the
The
1960s,
original, the original George Romero classic.
black and white.
Yeah, I watched that and Dracula 1931 the same day. So I did those as a double feature. So
Interesting.
it
That's
was
a,
fun. A little black and white action went on.
you like the black and white action a lot.
Because I'm a normal person that doesn't have
No,
issues with
no, because
movies and color.
you're a hoity-toity, movie man.
We can settle this right now. Hey, hey, what's up? Not that bad. Gabe does not like movies in black and white for some odd reason. He never explains why. He had some weird hatred for it. I don't know if it's his upbringing or the way he grew up, but he does this with food and other things too, where he throws
Food.
around
You're bringing up
he
food now?
he throws around the word I dislike, I hate. And if you question him, he doesn't even know himself why he doesn't like these things. He just likes to use those filler words. So
I know why I hate or dislike things. I
then
dislike salami
why do
because I
you
don't like
why
the taste of it.
that's weird. How can you have Mr. Sub and not have salami? That's weird. That's just weird.
Just
How can
ham
you
and
have
cheese.
Jersey Mike's? That's no. That's disgusting. What's next? You're gonna put mayo on it
On what?
on your ham and cheese sandwich?
Yeah, what else do you put
That's
on a fucking
disgusting.
ham and cheese sandwich? What?
Disgusting.
You put mustard on it? What the fuck?
I'm gonna have an Italian sub with mustard. Yeah. Um,
Capicola and salami are fucking disgusting.
you are your hot takes now have expanded to food, and they just get worse and worse and worse. It started with
Pickles
the
are
black and
also
white
nasty.
movies.
And I
Why?
tolerate mayo. And I tolerate mayo.
Why?
I'm more
What?
of a sour
Why?
cream
Why? Why
person.
can't you just eat the food and enjoy the food? Why can't you just enjoy it? Just
Because
enjoy
there's
the
some
food.
food that just tastes fucking disgusting. And
Yeah,
salami and mayo's up in there, capicola.
maybe you've had some terrible fucking salami and capicola. That's
Salami's
just on
always
you.
been terrible.
No, it's your
Runny
taste
eggs
buds.
are fucking disgusting. Runny eggs are nasty. That yolk, ew.
Let's settle this. Gabe likes Arby's, so that should show you what his taste in food is.
Who doesn't like Arby's? They have the best mozzarella sticks, by the way.
Normal, do they? I never
They
tried their
do.
mozzarella sticks. I
I'm
had
I'm a
them one
mozzarella
time.
stick connoisseur. Every time I go somewhere and it's mozzarella sticks, I get mozzarella sticks. Arby's has the best fast food mozzarella sticks.
I like the ones from Sonic. I think they do a solid job. I really
No,
do
no,
like the
you gotta
Sonic
go to
mozzarella.
Arby's. I'm telling you,
So
just get the mozzarella sticks.
I'll take note. I've only been there one time. I didn't hate it. I'm having a heart attack. The change of weather back and forth from Illinois to
Dude,
here.
it was like 72 degrees today here.
Oh, that's lucky. When I was there this weekend, it was like 40, and it sucked. All right. What's another movie that we watched? Arby's classic roast beef is the shit. How dare you? I don't know, man. I think the jokes got to me. I never really gave it a chance. I had a chicken sandwich when I was there. It was okay. It wasn't bad. Um,
How you go to Arby's and get the fucking chicken sandwich? What?
because it's safe. It was
You gotta
cooked.
get the roast beef. You gotta get the fucking ham and cheddar. You gotta, Arby's, they have the meats.
No, I can't do it. Coraline. I mentioned it on the last AMA that I love Coraline. I love Laika's films and Paranorman. The Box Trolls is another good one, but Coraline is really the one that started it all. Henry Selick, he's got the new movie out, Window and Wild, which I haven't watched yet
Me
since he's
neither.
coming back. I really want to watch it. I'll probably watch it tonight or tomorrow. Um, I love this movie. It's so dark for a children's movie. The material that they're diving into, I love the cast, the the voice acting, all of it. So Coraline's one that I watched earlier in the month, and yeah, I really enjoy that movie. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
What's another
Uh,
one, Ben?
I'm gonna do the internet's darling, and the one that I eat crow a lot, and that's gonna be Terrifier 2.
Okay, so
Um,
we talked about this. Yeah, you saw Terrifier too.
yeah, I saw it. I really dislike the first one, and I'll stand on that. Um, I'll stand on that hill. I'll die on that hill. But Terrifier 2, that's like leaps and bounds better. Um, with both the acting and the story.
It
The
has a
chick
great
in it,
final girl. It's got a great story. It's again,
right?
it is very long. You have to prepare yourself. I don't want to say that like I'm not a fan of long movies. Of course, everybody knows I like long movies. But
Long and black and white movies and
I was
movies from like 1920s. Like
Gabe likes really shitty movies. Just to let you guys know, he
Tony is
openly
very
likes bad
hoity-toity with his
movies.
fucking movies. They have to have no sound. He likes the fucking silent movie era. He's like,
This
oh yeah, let me
man's
watch the 1920s. Let me put a quarter in my phonograph. Let me fucking watch this
This
movie
man,
and fucking.
he won't even watch the movie. The thing, I'll watch every movie and give it a chance. Gabe will not give movies a chance. He hates cinema. He wants art to become content, and then he can forget about it a week later. Um, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Terrifier 2, great final girl. Lauren Lavera was awesome.
Yes,
The whole cast was cool. I was telling Victoria, I was shocked by how good the cast was, and the gore and the effects I knew were great because Damien Leone, that's his bread and butter. He knows how to do that. We saw that in the first movie. The second movie has really good heroine, a good brother sister dynamic. So I had a fun time with it. It's such a almost a perfect Halloween season movie. The
right.
atmosphere, the decorations, they really went all out for a movie that cost like what, $200,000. I'm so happy that it's making like $8-9 million at the box office. It's a hit, man.
On a $250,000 budget, I mean, it's great. It speaks for volumes for this year how horror has maintained and still is, the a box office draw this year. Besides your big ass, superhero films that's making money, and Top Gun, horror has really, you know, stood the test of time for this year.
Horror has done great, and I think audiences, I mean, they've always wanted horror, and I think critics, the people that grew up loving horror in the 70s and 80s are now adults, and they're critics and YouTubers, and they're championing these movies, and generations have really changed the tide of what horror movies can be, the perception
They
of them.
have. So this is gonna be a hot take. I will say that A24 and all their upscale horror, right, has really changed the game. And instead of studios pumping out these just slashers, whatever, let's just pump this out, low budget, let's forget about the plotline type of horror movies. With studios like A24 going into horror, they've really upped the game where other studios are having to match this artsy fartsy
Well, you
type of
know who is
horror.
matching it, and I've been telling you for a while, and then I'll get to Connor's comment. Um, Fox, Fox Searchlight. They've been, for me, matching A24. Uh, just recently, we had Antlers, we had Barbarian, Ready or Not. I think there's another one that I'm forgetting. All of them are great Searchlight pictures. The Menu is also coming out from Searchlight.
Can't wait for that one.
I think they have their finger on the pulse of what makes a really good genre picture. And then I also want to touch on this real quick. Discount Final Girl has a good non-spoiler review. We want to get her on the show. We've talked to Victoria talked to Jess from Discount Final Girl. We want to get her on in the future, maybe for the Christmas stuff. We're talking about it. Um, and then Connor agrees with you, but just to make things fun, he loves the old Charlie Chaplin films and many other black and whites. So, oh no, he's not with you.
He's not with me.
He's not with you.
If
You're
you're
by
not with
yourself.
me, you're against me.
God damn it, man! I got the Rona. I think something's up
God
with me
damn it.
these past few
And we were
lives, and
dancing
I'm just
together.
I probably gave it to you. We were dancing and singing. Uh, so anybody that wants to, we do weddings, funerals, all those kind of things.
Oh, we
Um,
could definitely do weddings. I could be the minister.
and then we just go sing. Yeah,
And just go sing. Invite us
yeah.
to your wedding.
So I know we're gonna talk about it on Thursday. What do you think of the Friday the 13th news? And then we'll get back to our movies. Are you excited? Are you excited for the show?
Yes and no.
You just want a movie, right?
I want a movie, but I feel like these franchises are now going the TV show route. Chucky. Um,
Right. There's a lot you can do with TV, and I think they're realizing that.
and I really wanted to talk shit about it, but because I'm a Freddy Krueger guy, but you had the Nightmare on Elm Street TV show as well, the series in the early '90s, so
Right.
it went that route as well.
And really
But
talented people in this too.
yeah, I mean with Friday the 13th though, there's going to be a prequel because that's all he has the rights to. He doesn't have rights to the Jason man.
Well, that changed.
That
You
changed.
there's an interview today when we'll talk about it more on Thursday because I'm sure Victoria will want to jump in on that. Um, they have full rights. I guess there was a loophole, and they have full rights to everything, every movie.
That
So
changes things.
they can. It's Brian Fuller said it's not a prequel, but it's a prequel make. That's the wording that he used. So I think what he's gonna do is what he did with Hannibal, where if he would have continued Hannibal, he would have even touched on Silence of the Lambs. And he did a great job with that show by touching on all the books and creating his own sort of mythology along the way. Now he's got 5 times the budget, he says, on Friday the 13th. And it can be gory as hell. And they got and Peacock said, "Hey, you could do a full season run, and we'll maybe even give you season two right off the bat." They're very confident in the idea. He said they have the rights to every iteration of Jason, and we will see it in the show. So I know we know Pamela's going to be in this and that dynamic. What I think we're going to see is the slow transition of Pamela to Jason over the course of maybe 3 4 seasons. Who knows how long they could go many routes, but I was with you. I wasn't sure about the show. I was excited because of A24's involvement in Brian Fuller.
Right.
But then the interview that came out recently where they said, "Oh no, we have the rights to everything." Like they just can't go off and do a movie, but we can have Jason in the show with the hockey mask. Change for me. I wanted to touch on that because there was a lot of confusion. But then he did an interview today where he said they have the rights to everything.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see Jason on this
You know,
monster.
they mentioned that they said, "Hey, maybe season 10 they'll go to space," which I think who knows, man? Who knows? There's a ton of things they can do with this.
Listen, I think Jason is one of those. It's a hot property right now because it hasn't been touched since 2009, right? And people want Jason. Like I said, you had a Michael Myers run, you have a Chucky run right now. You have Pinhead came back. You had Leatherface came back. I mean, there's only a couple of icons missing here, and it's Freddy and Jason. And Jason's already on his way back by next year. So, people really love Jason. He's like you know, he's one or two, depending on who you talk to, right?
Right.
As far as icons are concerned.
No,
Me
sure.
personally, I agree with Connor. I'd rather get Freddy than Jason, but it is what it is. We gotta wait on Freddy.
You know, it's hard to say because I think there's a great movie in the Freddy franchise. I just don't know who can tackle it. I don't want an obvious choice. I don't want James Wan. I don't want Mike Flanagan. I want somebody new. I want and maybe one of the guys that have done the Cabinet of Curiosity, the new Guillermo del Toro show, which is awesome. I would like one of those guys to do like
Right.
somebody different, out of the box, unique.
You know what the problem with Freddy is, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna fucking call these people out. There's the people that fucking want Robert Englund back. Like you gotta understand, motherfucker's 80 years old. He ain't
I don't want
coming
him
back.
back.
And I don't want him back. I love Freddy. I love Freddy's character. I feel like Freddy is bigger than Robert Englund, and I get it. All right, he did fucking 8 films. He's 80 years old, guys. Just let it go. We could get a new actor. We could get a whole new fucking thing. But people are gonna fucking shit on whatever version of Nightmare on Elm Street comes out, if it ever comes out, because it's not Robert Englund.
Fun fact: Connor submitted a sample for a future Nightmare film. They've been developing it for years. That's awesome, man. And they have been developing it for years. It feels like a very long time, and I haven't heard anything. I've heard, there's people that really want to tackle this. Again, Elijah Wood, he's got a company. He's done, he's produced a ton of um, small budget horror
Daddy,
genre films. Come to Daddy, was it? What
come
was
to
the film?
daddy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, come to daddy.
Um,
It was actually
he's
pretty
also
good.
Yeah, he's done that, and there's a ton of movies that he's done. I know his company, The Greasy Strangler, his company really wants to tackle Nightmare on Elm Street. He's talked about it. Cool.
Bullshit artist.
One of those guys. Like, I want somebody different and unique. With Friday the 13th, what excites me is they got a guy that clearly loves this franchise, has a really good track record with a show that was also very good,
Right.
and has a huge fan base, and people were mad that it got canceled. So if you ask me, yeah, I'm really down to have Ryan Fuller involved, and A24 is so bizarre. So bizarre that they even want to do this. So yeah, I'm on board with all of it. And Peacock, they need a big show. And they know that people want Friday the 13th. So of course they're gonna, because this thing went into a huge bidding war, they talked about. A huge bidding war with multiple studios and multiple streamers. Paramount could have had it. This seems like something that would have been on Paramount,
Right.
but they got it at Peacock, and Victor Miller's involved. And I think I would have been a little nervous if it was just about Pamela and no Jason, or excuse me, Jason with no mask. But we're getting all of it. That's fine. I'm cool with it. There's a ton of things you could do on TV, so I'm down with it, man. Anyway, shoot another. What's another movie? What's another movie you watched this month?
Um, the faculty. I love the fucking faculty. Like, like, it's gonna be a little bit of hearsay, but I would say the faculty is sort of like, to me, I'm not gonna say on par, but it's almost there with Scream as far as like late '90s horror is concerned, because it has the self awareness that they know they're in a horror movie, or they know they're in a horror situation, right? They know they're in like an invasion of body snatchers. They talk about the invasion of body snatchers book and like the
Right.
movie. There's a little bit of comedy. You have the T1000 in it.
A
Um,
little bit of the thing in there, like
a little
they
bit
call
of the
back to
thing.
that.
Yeah, you have some great actors or beginning actors. You talked about what's his face from Lord of the Rings,
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. You have Mia from Fast and the Furious, Raymond Usher. Like, it's a great like teen high school horror, and it's still sort of like self aware enough that they know they're in a bad situation. I just love the faculty, and it's directed by Robert Rodriguez.
He-
This
yeah, I'm with you. Robert Rodriguez is almost very perfect for this movie because I feel like um he's got the right amount of playfulness, right? Like with the type of movies he makes, sort of tongue in cheek, but also dark, and it gets scary in some moments. But the cast is really the thing. That's the cast is amazing.
Right, Josh Hartnett, America's sweetheart in the late '90s.
With his shitty hairdo.
Every
Um,
why? Okay, hold on. Why did Josh Hartnett have like a fucking bad haircut in every single movie? Like fucking Pearl Harbor, The Faculty,
this is
Halloween
true.
H2O. Like every single Josh Hartnett movie, he had the bad hair.
Also, I felt like he was everywhere for a little bit, and now he's like nowhere. He was like a really, at some point, a really bankable actor.
It's like the other guy, Oz from American Pie. He was also pretty bankable for a moment there, and then he's just disappeared.
Right. I know. He's Josh Hartnett has a new movie coming out, which we actually covered on the show, which has no release date, and I've heard nothing about if it's ever going to be released. And that's that Jason Statham movie. They're co-leads,
Right.
and for a
Freddie
guy,
Prince
it's
Jr., another '90s, early
another
2000s stalwart.
another guy that sort of fell. I don't want to say fell off, but he does more like voiceover work and things of that nature.
Well, you know what he did? He ended up going to work for WWE as a script writer.
I heard about this. Yeah,
So he
he
was doing
wanted to work for
wrestling.
WWE. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, 2 movies I want to shout out that I watched yesterday: Drag Me to Hell and Dracula, Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, uh, which we mentioned before that
We have.
it's awesome. It's so good. Drag Me to Hell is probably maybe my favorite Sam Raimi horror movie. I just think it's his box of tricks retooled and done in a perfect kinetic way for 90 minutes. And it's PG-13, and it's so funny and vicious and in your face, and it's over in a flash. So that's one that I love, and I watch that every year. I make time for it. And Dracula is such a good and faithful adaptation of the book, even with things that they take uh sort of creative liberty with. There, it's very faithful. The cast is awesome, and the visuals are like, I talk about how much I love Sleepy Hollow. This movie's in that ballpark where it's got that
Right.
dark, seedy, gothic look. The color palette's really cool. Gary Oldman is one of the best Draculas I think ever. So I love this movie, and it looked amazing in 4K when I watched it yesterday.
It does look really good in 4K. I watched it earlier in the month. It was really good. It was my first time watch, and I would say it was probably my favorite Dracula movie, vampire movie.
Good. So it's
Besides,
no longer Dracula 2000. So there's that.
right, I think it goes now Dracula 2000, and then one of the what's its face,
Is it Twilight?
Twilight movie. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, there, there we go. I'm trying to think of another one. I feel like my list is just a little bit
I
lacking.
wanted to highlight another one, and it's a low light, not a highlight, because we talked about it on our Tuesday show or one Thursday show, like a month or two back, and that Spirit Halloween, the
Oh
movie.
yeah, yeah. You saw that. I didn't see that.
Do not watch, guys. Do not watch it. Just pass it. Pass. Like really, really, just do yourself a favor. Pass on that movie. It felt like one big commercial for Spirit Halloween, but not like the cool stuff that they have there. Just like terrible props. It was just bad.
It looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. But see, that's why Gabe's here. He will watch the terrible movies, and I'll wait and say, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
this one was the one that you just need to. Just like, and I because it had, it got me. It's like Christopher Lloyd. I'm like, all right, cool, Christopher Lloyd. I'm gonna watch this. What's her face from freaking?
oh,
She's
Rachel A.
on
Cook,
that.
and yeah, Rachel A.
Richard
Cook.
Lee Cook, and it's like more like cameos, but they have like starring them. But it's like okay,
They have, well, yeah. Um, Trying to think of another one that I want to highlight that I haven't talked about before on the show. Um, oh, so I rewatched Child's Play, the original.
yeah, I know. I know your feelings about Child's Play. We don't need to get into a huge argument about that.
Oh man, Bloodbath TV said the Spirit Halloween movie was a good time.
Ah,
Uh, there you go. Well, you got to see it now to find out.
now you got to see it now.
See if you agree with Gabe or Jay. Uh, which usually from what we gathered when we talked to Jay, you guys had a very similar taste. So that's funny. Two very different opinions. It's been all across the board. Josh Harnett voluntarily took a step away, I think. Maybe, yeah, he did Penny Dreadful for a little bit too, which was a really cool show.
With a
That
bad
was really.
haircut.
He probably got a new haircut. Um, there was something I was about to mention. Oh yeah, Child's Play. Uh,
Child's Play.
Watched it a week ago in 4K because we bought it. Victoria had bought it. I forgot that we did. So let's pop it in. I haven't seen it in a very long time. Maybe like 4 years in total from beginning to end. It holds up. It's still a classic. It looks great. It sounded great. Scream Factory they always do a great job. It looked wonderful. And it's still the one and only good film in that franchise, other than the remake. That's it. That's my hot take. The first Child's Play movie is genuinely good. Uh, Roger Ebert loved it too. He gave it 3 stars. Um, so I enjoyed it. I always enjoyed it. I thought like the transfer was really good.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. The other ones are just very basic ones that I watched, like The Conjuring, H2O. because we got the new thing. So we checked that out. Halloween, the Chris Michael Myers, which looked great on 4K. Actually, I didn't hate watching it. Um, I didn't hate watching it. I had fun. I kind of had fun with it, just because it looked genuinely really. It's weird because it is a bad movie, but it was genuinely like the transfer was so good. I was really
Uh-huh.
enjoying myself with it,
What
even
is
with the
though?
shitty parts. I used to agree with you, Tony. I feel what you're saying. Oh, about the Child's Play movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm alone on it. People love the show and they love the Don Mancini stuff, and I'm not hating on Don Mancini. I just think that everything that made that franchise good came from Tom Holland and his rewrites and what he came up with and what he brought to the table. And then he dipped. It's like John Carpenter. He made Halloween and then he dipped. And it's fine if people want to love the other sequels and stuff. I kind of connected to the first movie, and other than that, I'm like, it's not for
You
me.
have really weird hot takes. Like you talk about my hot takes, but your hot takes are just as bad. Oh, I really
So
love Tom Holland, and I fucking suckle at the teeth of Tom Holland. But once
so
he
let me
dips,
ask you
I
this.
dip.
Let me ask you this.
When you
You
dip,
want
I
to
dip.
jerk
We
off a
dip.
doll. We get that. You love the doll so much that you want to have sex with it. What's up with the weird Mexican American love for Chucky? Like they love that doll so much. It's like the whole they don't even call it by its real name, El Chucky. They don't even call it Child's Play 1. 2, the
Because
first
that's what they
movie
called
is
it in Mexico.
genuinely a
When that movie came out in
suspenseful.
Mexico, it was called Chucky. So what do
Oh,
you
was
want?
it? Do you
Yeah, it
is
was.
that a fact? Were you in
It is
Mexico
a
when it came
fact.
out?
It's a
Were you
fact.
in
It's
Mexico?
Chucky.
Were you in Mexico when it came
I'm
out?
Mexican. I already know.
Where's your
It's
source?
called Chucky.
Bring your source on the show, and I will eat crow.
It's on IMDb. You can look it up. Also
Two,
known as, and it says Mexico. It says Chucky.
It's I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's well known. Don Mancini's original script is about a little kid that makes a blood pact with his doll. That's his version of Child's Play. It wasn't Child's Ray. It wasn't about a serial killer.
That's
That's everything
fine.
that makes the first movie
It's
a
all
good
fine. And,
movie.
it's all fine and dandy. But you know what? You can continue on with the fucking series and
Of
actually
course you can.
see that Child's Play
They
2 is
did
as
because of
good, if not
money.
even better than the first one. But
That's
you want to hate
ridiculous.
Mancini so
I'm
much.
not hating. I'm not
Yes, you
hating.
do. You're
I'm
hating.
not
Oh,
hating.
it's about Tom
I'm
Holland.
saying it's not
Ooh,
for
Tom
me.
Holland.
It's
Tom
not for
Holland.
me because you know why? You know why?
No.
You know why? Because I'm not obsessed with the doll, man. I'm not like I see movies because I want to see really good storytelling,
You
and the
see
first one's
movies
really good
because
storytelling.
you want those artsy fartsy black and white silent
What's a
movies.
name an artsy fartsy black and white movie? Gabe has not seen a black and white movie besides the ones I've recommended him. He can't even name one. He's blanking right now.
Yeah,
But I
because
can
I
tell you
don't
right
watch.
now,
I don't
I
watch.
don't.
I'm
Oh,
sorry that I like to evolve with my television. Hey, guess what? They don't make black and white anymore because we've upgraded to color. Hey, guess what? We don't make VHS because we've upgraded to
we
Blu-ray.
didn't
Hey,
upgrade to
guess what? We
color.
don't do
Gabe
Blu-ray.
just
We do
started to
4K now.
afford color.
You know, and when 8K comes out, I'm gonna move over to 8K and then fucking 12K. Hey, there's a reason why we don't have 8 tracks or cassettes. Hey, we've evolved to
Dude, you're talking about
digital.
technology though. Storytelling is storytelling. Good storytelling stands the test of
Technology has
time.
evolved. Black and
Storytelling
white is
stands the test of
gone. There's
time.
no need to watch things without color. If they restored
So,
like the black
okay,
and
then
white movies
I
to
don't
like
know,
color,
color
then I'd
correct
watch
fucking
it.
movies. So if I figure out how to color correct movies and then start watching black and white movies color corrected. I don't know what else to fucking tell you. They created
I don't have.
Technicolor
That's
in the
not my job.
1950s.
Somebody else should color correct black and white movies
There
for me.
are movies in color, you know that, right? In the 40s and 50s. So
I
you
know
say your issue is color, but you still won't watch older movies. You're
because they're
ageist.
boring as
That's it.
hell.
You're ageist.
They're
You're
boring as
ageist.
hell.
That's all I gotta say.
I'm not ageist.
You're ageist. Anyway, Child's Play, only good movie in the franchise is the first one. It's a well-known
Lies,
fact. It's a
lies.
well-known fact.
No,
I
it's
haven't
not
seen
a
the show though.
well-known
I heard the
fact.
show's great.
No, Child's Play 2 is the best one in the franchise, which you
That's
won't watch
laughable.
because you got this thing about Tom Holland. Oh, Tom Holland left. I don't want to see
Child's
anything
Play
because Tom
2.
Holland was in.
Child's Play 2 is fun for people that like Chucky, and he says the one-liners and the catchphrases. I like the first
That
movie
the
because it's a
one-liners and the
well-told horror
catchphrases
movie.
didn't really start until freaking Bride of Chucky.
Oh, so he doesn't say one-liners in the second one?
Not as much.
Yes, he does.
No, he
Yes, he
doesn't.
does.
No, he
Yes,
doesn't.
he does.
No, he
Yes,
doesn't.
he does.
No,
My
no, he
problem
doesn't.
with those movies is the magic trick is over. The magic trick is in the first movie, and that's it. It's that you know everything. You know
That's that.
everything there is to know. Where else can you go? It's not for me, but I understand why people love it. Gabe won't accept
Not
the
for me,
fact
not for me.
that
But you know what's for
he's
me?
ageist
Movies from like
against movies.
1910. Hey, look, I put a dime in and I'm able to see this fucking
What
movie through a
movie
fucking
from
kaleidoscope.
1910 have we talked about?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you could come up with a movie from fucking 1910. Like
I
the
don't know.
fucking
Like
first movie fucking Thomas Edison did. Ooh, Thomas Edison's first movie. He created the camera, you know?
we're gonna create this thing where Gabe has to watch 20 or 30 black and white movies, and we'll see if his opinion changes. Because
I've seen Clerks. It's black and white.
I've seen that he's ageist. He refuses to watch older movies because his brain can't comprehend movies in the 40s and 50s. He can't process it. He
Werewolf
doesn't
by
know what's
Night.
going on.
That's black and white. That was good.
I've seen all the Chucky movies. I haven't seen the show. I've seen all the movies. They're
The
not for me.
1960s zombie movies that you just talked about. That was black and white. I've seen that.
Oh, for
That's
a horror
three.
fan, that's not an important movie for you? That's not
What?
the one you can attest go, that's a really well-made movie. That it was great for the genre, and it just happens to be in black and white,
I saw it.
mainly because it's low budget.
I saw it.
Okay, do you like it?
It's good. It's fine.
Why is it just fine?
It's just because it's not my cup
Oh,
of
did
tea,
see?
man.
See, no, exactly. 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 Anyway, Don Mancini, I'm sure that he's a great guy and he's got a good show. First Child's Play movie, the only good one. Uh There's not much you can do with that character. Sorry, man. Uh, I
Oh,
s-
okay. Okay. Okay.
that's it. That's it. There's
Coming from the
what.
guy that likes Knives Out.
That's it. That's all you can do. This man didn't finish Knives Out. He didn't finish it, so he can't even give his opinion. He watched maybe 15 minutes. He refuses to watch the rest of it. That's all I got to say.
That's
That's all
all
I
you
got to
have?
say. That's all. Gabe will sit here and recommend you terrible movies. I will not recommend you terrible movies.
No,
Gabe
no.
will sit
Tony
here
will
and
just
recommend you
recommend
terrible
you
movies.
movies from like the 1930s or 1940s all day, every
Learn
day.
something. You can learn something. Pretty soon these movies are going to die off and it's just going
Good.
to be content.
Good.
It's going to be content and you'll be like Gabe here where you just get excited for
They're gonna
post
be in
credit
the
scenes.
listen. They're gonna be in the vaults at the Smithsonian. That's where you're gonna be able to watch your 1930 movies. You're gonna have to pay like $5 to
You're
get
going
into the
to
Smithsonian.
Gabe, you're going to be like Gabe and you're just going to be excited for post credit scenes until the next content comes out and then you're excited all over again for the next content to come out. You're not even excited about the movies anymore. You're just excited for the next thing.
Blame it on
Um
my ADD. That's why I take Adderall.
I'm gonna have to. All right, enough Child's Play. But I know I thought the first one it looked and sounded great on the format. Um, where was I looking here? Oh, I saw the Idris Elba movie, where he punches the lion. I
Beast?
saw Beast. I saw Beast.
Is
It was
that a
a.
horror movie?
I think it is. I think it is.
I don't think it is.
What qualifies as a horror movie for you that this would not qualify as a horror movie?
I don't know. That's a good
It's a creature
question.
feature.
When you say creature feature, I feel like we're talking like Swamp Thing. We're talking about like antlers in a sense.
Oh, I would say any kind of creature.
And I guess, right? I
I
guess.
would
All
say
right,
so.
I'll give it to you.
Allow me this one because I added it. I thought it really does coast off of the performances a little bit. Some cool camera angles and stuff, but other than that, it's a good couch sit.
Right.
That's what I'll say. Like there's
Would
some
you
good
compare it
moments.
to like the '90s Lion one? What was it with Brad Pitt? The dark, and I forget the name of it.
You mentioned it before. I don't think I've seen that movie.
Okay.
There's one that came out with Peter Weller from like 2007. I think it's called Prey. I forgot. It's about a family that goes on a safari trip in Africa. A lion attacks. It's very similar to that. Again, it's rated R, but it's not very violent.
Ghost in the Darkness. That's what it's called.
That's the movie.
Like 93, 94.
That's the movie with Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about a lion as well. They're touching them at night.
But no, it was solid. I think it's definitely worth your time. You got nothing to watch. You just want to see a lion attack people. I think it could have a bit more bite. It feels very safe. It feels like they're gonna survive. Spoiler
Right.
alert, they do. Uh, but I like Idris Elba, and he does punch a lion. So There's that. There's some
Who doesn't?
genuinely.
Who wouldn't want to punch a lion?
I don't know, man. I probably wouldn't want to punch a lion. What's another one? What's another one that you watched this month?
Smile, with Susie Bacon, Kevin Bacon's daughter. You know, the creepy smile. The trailer looked great. That really got me hooked, and I wanted to go see it. Had some issues with people in the crowd, but overall, in generalized, I really enjoyed Smile. It just was the right amount of creepiness for this movie.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. I think it touches on some pretty dark themes.
Very
Uh,
dark themes.
the imagery is really damn good too. I think like there's some really great jump scares. Some of the best of the year, I would say, in terms of just jump scare factor. It got me a few times. I want to say.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, that's a great one. I enjoyed that. What's crazy about my list is I went so hard in September that I feel like my October list is lacking because I watched so much in September.
You pre warmed up. You did a pre warm up.
I did too much. I think I watched like 40 or 50 movies in September.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, and a bulk of it was horror movies between the new releases and revisiting. And then at that time, we were getting the 4Ks in the mail, the pre-orders, as well as seeing the Fathom events of like all the other like Poltergeist and all these things. So, kind of yeah, September was pretty packed. So my October, because of vacations and whatnot, I got 28. So I'll just run down a couple other titles I did watch. And that's gonna be okay. So I watched Barbarian again, Halloween 2, the original, Scream, which I felt like I've seen way too many times, but we watched it because we had Jay on and I just needed to just have it on my mind. The Adams Family, the original, the first one. Oh, you gotta watch the second one around Thanksgiving. Jason Lives, Halloween 2018, Halloween Ends, Scooby Doo, the first one. um, Scream 2, we saw that at the re-release, and Trick or Treat. Let's see, Terrifier 2, which me and you mentioned, Fright Night, Near Dark, which I love. I think is you might have you seen Near Dark? I feel like you'll like it because it's essentially Twilight.
No, I don't think I've seen Near Dark.
You should see Near Dark. And then I think that's about it in terms of just the horror movies I watched.
Right.
But
Well,
yeah, man, not a ton for me this month.
no, no. I'll run a couple that I just want to throw out there. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, produced by Guillermo del Toro with Guy Pearce, and Pacey from Dawson's Creek. I forget her name.
Oh, that's a good
Um,
movie. That's a really good movie.
yeah, it's a creature film too.
It is, yeah, like the little tooth fairy creatures that.
Little fairies, yeah. I watched the Netflix, the Marlin, the Marlon Wayne's, the Curse of Bridge Hollow,
Right.
which is like the family, Halloween movies that they've been running. I saw the remake of Good Night Mommy on Amazon Prime. Um, Fresh, I was able to see Fresh.
I've not seen that yet.
It's pretty good. Uh, the Curse of Crom. It's another kid. It's a family friendly
Like a family
movie.
friendly one.
Yes. And Phantoms. I can't. Phantoms is so much fun. I don't understand the hate
Affleck
Ben
was the
Affleck.
bomb in Phantoms.
Yo, yeah, I don't understand the hate Ben Affleck gets in Phantoms. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't his worst performance. It wasn't his best either, but it was just, I don't know, Rose McGowan, Liev Schreiber. It was great,
That's
up and
another
coming
one of those
cast.
Scream sort of like
Yeah, which
dimension
brings me
era
to like a
movies.
little point. It's like the Weinsteins were owning horror in the late '90s. Like, they were like a Blumhouse over at Miramax in those late '90s, early 2000s with Scream, The Faculty, Phantoms, The Cursed, and all these like Miramax Weinstein horror movies.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, they were just trying to like, what else can we do? What else can we do? And they really had a hold on it even in the 2000s with what other films they did, like the Saw movies and the remakes, the Halloween, and all that. Um, looks like I know what film Gabe is covering when he's coming back on the show. Phantoms.
Phantoms.
There you go. Um, I got to tell you though, man, and I might sound crazy saying this. I feel like I'm kind of burnt out from. I feel like September and October, I only exclusively watched horror movies. I feel like I'm gonna go on a cleanse and watch
I know,
like
a Christmas cleanse.
I'm
I
gonna
think
watch fall movies, Christmas movies, holiday movies. I made a whole list for November of movies I want to rewatch, and I can't wait to honestly rewatch a ton of these.
what would you consider fall movies? I guess we're here. I know we got like
We we
give me fall movies. I know that's in your list like Rocky and shit like that, but
yeah yeah
something
yeah.
besides Rocky. Like
Yeah,
what's a
so
fall movie for you?
that's one I mentioned to you. The Rocky movies always feel like they're set around November for some reason, and some of them are,
Right.
most of them are. Uh, the Godfather movies always, to me, feel like fall. Like I like think of fall when I think of those movies because of the attire and stuff. So the Godfather movies, I like to revisit around then. Um, let's see, Fantastic Mr. Fox. The Wes Anderson movies always have, because he's like a fucking hipster and they always dress like it's fall. Uh, that movie feels like fall. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I love the stop motion. It's a really good comedy.
Mhm.
They're always wearing those little fall sweaters in it and tweed blazers. Knives Out, which you talk shit about, is legit a November movie. They're wearing November sweaters and
What's a
scarves and
November
stuff.
sweater?
You know, like the white knit sweaters that people wear, or just browns. Like when I think of like fall, I think of like browns and oranges and stuff like that. Uh, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is one that Connor is mentioning, which I will watch around Thanksgiving, which just came to 4K. We got a few 4Ks that came in the mail, which I'm excited about. We got Elf and Christmas Vacation. So those came today. I'm not gonna watch them yet. I'm gonna wait. I feel like I have to. You can't just watch it November 1st. You gotta ease into the Christmas and Thanksgiving stuff. You gotta wait. When for you, when do you wait to watch those movies?
Honestly, I usually planes, trains, and automobiles is usually either on Thanksgiving or on Black Friday. Um, but to be like fall movies, I watch a lot of football and basketball movies because those are like those are the sports that are going on. So I
Sports are going
watch a
on,
lot of
right?
like Any Given Sunday, Little Giants, for example. Um, Above the rim, they're wearing jackets and light jackets and hoodies and stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't know. I equate my fall with sports. So
I mean, that's a good example.
so like
Um,
I'll be watching Rocky with boxing, like you said, but yeah.
the Rocky movies I wait for Thanksgiving week. I feel like they're the perfect movies to have on while you're cooking and whatnot. Like I just like it's a lot of fun. Planes, Trains, I will watch the night before Thanksgiving. I feel like you have to. It's kind of a must, either on or before.
All right.
Um, but for me, right after Thanksgiving, I for me it's a free for all in terms of Christmas movies because there's so much good Christmas content. I feel like I never have enough time with shopping and visiting people throughout the whole month and like friends parties. I don't have enough time to watch all of them. So I want to start right after Thanksgiving, sometimes that very night, and I'll go all the way through my list with The Ref and Christmas Vacation and Elf and the stop motion stuff. So uh, to me, like you kind of get it's different than well, it's not different than Halloween because now Halloween you can start in September watching all these things. And Christmas, it's even better because you have all of November and December. You get even more time, it feels like, to watch all these movies.
It feels like that, right? But like, and not to get political, but with like global warming and shit, and tomorrow, November 2nd, and it's gonna be 74 degrees in Chicago. Like,
Right.
it doesn't feel like fall? Yeah, the leaves are on the ground, but it's 74 degrees. Like that's not
I got this question though.
fall
Does
weather.
it ever feel like fall in Chicago? Because I feel like for the past 10 years, not really. And that's global. It is global warming. But it always feels like Chicago's so known for just switching up the weather. Like one day
It
it's
is, but
50,
see,
one day it's 30.
like to what 2 years ago it snowed on Halloween. We were trick or treating
Yes.
on in the snow. But it's like it feels like every year, fall and winter keep on getting pushed back and pushed back, and spring is just also getting pushed back. I don't know. It's just really been really weird weather, like you said, the past 10 years here, where it's not like you remember fall having its own, like as soon as like the second week of September hit, like you knew it was fall all the way to like maybe the second week of
I don't even
November.
remember having a snowy Christmas, to tell you the truth. Can't
It
remember my last
hasn't
one.
snowed on Christmas in like 2 or 3 years here.
Um, okay. So we want to do. I know we're still trying to figure out our Christmas thing and our November movies. It's going to be hard. We want to bring guests on, so I know that's something that we want to do. We'll talk about that more with people and what they're interested in. But we want to do pretty much my favorite horror movie, but holiday edition.
Yes.
So yeah, that's something that we've been talking about for a while, and we should be, I think, very close to asking people to come on and figuring out planning and scheduling and all those things. We got a bit of time, but we want to make sure that happens. Um, Gabe, anything else you want to shout out before we leave?
No, no, not really. You shot a very good short that's on the channel. The A fan film by Michael Myers or Halloween. You shot that over the weekend while you were here, so you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's on our YouTube page. It's on my TikTok. Um, so that and
It's everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere, man. And that's a short that should have been with Gabe. We were so busy with the wedding. I had written that short, and it was a different script. For Gabe to be in, I had a shot list and a storyboard, and there was a way I was going to shoot it. And we'll use that idea next time I see Gabe, and we'll just air it another Halloween or fuck it. It's a fan film. We could drop it throughout the year. Doesn't matter.
right,
Next time I see Gabe, we will shoot it, but we were so busy, we just didn't have the time. What happened was the very night we were supposed to shoot it, my cousin who's getting married said, well, let's just do something different. We'll save that script and we'll just, what can we do right now? And actually, Victoria claims it was her. So she came up with the idea. So there you go. It's on YouTube and Twitter and TikTok. And next time it will be the one we were planning with Gabe, and we'll actually shoot that one. But let us know if you guys are interested in those things too, because it seems like that one did pretty well and people had fun with it. So I know it's hard because we're apart, but I know Gabe and I still want to do that kind of content as well as the movie reviews and
right.
reactions.
And only for a while because Tony's gonna come back to Chicago next year. It's been written. It's in the cards. Everybody knows that Chicago's back into his future. I want to say by July of 2023, him and Victoria are back in Chicago,
It's
and we're
possible.
recording live
It's possible.
together in studio.
It might happen. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what my plans are. But man, I got nothing else to add for tonight. I thought it was fun. We had fun talking about these movies, and Connor joined us too, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping in, man.
Thank you for the three people that are in the room. Greatly
Thank you
appreciate it.
to all three of our viewers.
All
Yes,
three reviewers tonight. Nobody called that number.
I know that would have been fun. We really hope that maybe next time we'll use it. Who knows? Maybe
Maybe
Thursday. Thursday.
maybe next time.
We'll try it out.
Or if you guys just want to shoot the shit throughout the week until next Tuesday.
Right. But I got nothing else, man. I'm ready to wrap up, and I'm ready to. JoJo's here too. What's up, man? How's it going? He's listening in. Um,
No,
I'm
thank
ready
you
to.
guys for watching and listening to us. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody that's out there watching, taking the time every week to join us just to talk movies and all the bullshit that we cover. But that'll do it for me, man.
All right, and
I'm
you
ready
guys
for
enjoy
Thursday.
Child's Play too.
Don't watch Child's Play 2. Watch the first one. But Thursday we will be back with the show. We're gonna cover all the news that we missed. There's been some great things that dropped. We'll talk all about it, and I'm excited to cover that and the box office as well, like we always do. So if you haven't already, make sure to like this episode. It helps us out with the algorithm. Otherwise, they hurt us. They hurt us badly. The algorithm is bad, and they like to hurt us. So make sure you hit the like button. It really does help the show. If you're new here, comment, subscribe, all those things too. and we will see you next time. And I forgot that we have an intro, so I'm gonna go ahead and play outro and play this. So have a good night, guys. Thank you.